Hi, this is our project RedFlag that classifies documents based on how sensitive they are. So we're going to go through all the test cases given to us. The first one is this marketing document. So once you give your document a title and select the file from your computer, you can click upload, and as you can see, it kind of explains that it's going to classify the documents into the 4 different categories given to us, and it's just going to have this little loading screen while it goes through. And this one is kind of a big one with a lot of images, so it takes a minute to parse it. But basically we use a Hugging Face model to get the PII flags, and then we make a call to Gemini API to categorize it based on those flags. And then we also check for 10 other cases that we gave to the Gemini API, like unsafe content, company stuff. So then here you can see it has 8 pages, 4 flags, and it's 99% confident that this is a public document. Here are some of the flags. You can see that it's customer data / PII. There's a customer testimonial naming bill, and these, if you were to check, are going to be exactly where it would be. So then we can go back and we can do test case 2, which is a shorter one, so should take a little bit more time. But this one is the employee application, so this should be flagging a couple PIIs, such as like street names and maybe an email. But yeah, so basically, right now it's just going through, finding all the PII. Oh, like there, you can see there's a lot of PII. It is saying this is confidential, and it's very confident in that because it does have a lot of personal information. So then the next test case, test case 3, is the internal memo. So this one should not be public because it's like company communications, I believe, but it might not have as much PII, so it might not flag as much. But yeah, so it still analyzes it as confidential. It finds that there's internal communications and research and development materials, and it is 95% confident that it is confidential. And it also has a little bit of PII. There's always going to be PII just because of the Hugging Face model we used. And then TC4 is going to be the stealth fighter, which should also definitely not be public. That should be one of the other categories, maybe sensitive, because of the proprietary semantics. But because there's a few images in this one, it's also going to take a little while longer to load. But basically, we just parse it and we pass the text and all the images to our API as well as the PII flags, and then it kind of categorizes it from there. So yeah, you can see that this is highly sensitive. It is 18 pages long. There are 2 flags, and one of them, also, I didn't mention this, but the star is ones that are super important. So in this one, customer data is not super important, but the proprietary semantics in this context are super important, and we're 95% confident about that. And then we can just go ahead and do the last one, which is a docx. So we do have the capacity to handle docx's as well as PDFs. We can handle a bunch of different types of files, and it should also be able to recognize the number of images.
Yes, and I would like to add, as this one goes through, since docx don't actually have page counts in them, so we're just approximating the location of the image using the word count, but we can still take in all the images from this one and the text, and this one should be unsafe since it has the image of the skull.
And because this is a really complex analysis that we try really hard to make it accurate, it does take a minute.
There you go.
So you can see that it does show that it is unsafe content. Like Henry said, that 6 pages is an estimate, but you can see that on page 6, it should be that. And there is visual gore and violence. So yeah, that was our document classification analyzer.